Right now is a very special guest for more on this. And today, in fact, we're not going to focus on what the government should do or what is it that the farmers want, but the economics of it and what really will be a policy that is helpful to everybody. So let's just say good evening to Mr. Surjit Bhalla, the Executive Director for IMF in India here, and a known and much respected economist joining us right now. Good evening, Mr. Bhalla. Thank you for being with me here. Mr. Bhalla, let me start off with what has become the latest talking point, which is the farmers saying that give us assurance in written for minimum support price for 23 crops. Now, is that something that the government can look into, and is it possible for government to really come in and start buying in at MSP for so many crops?
You know, as you've noted, that this has been going on for some time. Now, if you are stating what are the farmers saying, I want to know how much or who do these farmers represent before the government or you or me can give any credibility to what they are saying. The Punjab government has issued a report, which I'm sure you've got a copy of, the Punjab COVID-19 response report, in which the Punjab government has argued for exactly the same reforms that the government has brought about. So maybe you should ask the farmers who are asking for the MSP or various other demands to go to the Punjab government and ask them as to what are they saying.
Fair enough, Mr. Bhalla. I understand the point you're making. In fact, I did read that you in one of your articles you wrote that it's just about 0.2% of all farmers, and that also perhaps the wealthier lot who are out there right now and raising this issue, and perhaps that is the case because there's only a bunch of them from few states who've landed up at the national capital. But the government is speaking to them, and the government seems to be, keen on holding conversations with them. The government seems to be keen on making changes to the existing laws. And so if the government sees merit, I'm trying to understand to what extent should they go. And now the chorus seems to be around MSP.
Okay, look, I cannot speak for the government. Obviously, they should talk to them. They are talking to them. And I hope the issue is resolved. I can only speak as an economist who has worked on these issues, who has talked to policymakers who worked on these issues, who's talked to other economists who's worked on these issues for the last 40 years. And various governments, what we should note is that the reform of the agricultural system has been part and parcel of every government since about 2000. And all of them have tried and mentioned, and as you know, the Congress manifesto, National Election Manifesto, had argued just a year and a half ago that these reforms are needed. So I don't know what to say, as to the government. Any protest comes in, the government has to acknowledge the protesters, talk to them. But I don't know how much policy recommendation we can get from the protesters when their own state government has argued for precisely these reforms.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. But the Congress Party's response to that is that, well, we said that you need to bring in reforms to the existing system. And if you had to dismantle the mandis, you would replace them with 50 more markets and make them more accessible to the farmers and not have these kind of regulations on that. But that's not what this government has done. Their claim is that this government is essentially saying, well, you can sell it outside anywhere, but where there is no regulation. So that's not exactly what what the Congress was promising to do.
Sorry, I am not understanding what you're saying. If I read the law says that a farmer who wants to sell to the APMC can continue to sell to the APMC. And if they don't want to sell to the APMC, they don't sell to the APMC. It's only allowing. So, look, it's very important to understand that all the three laws do not allow people to proceed with business as usual. All of them. Only it says that if you don't like the way agricultural business has been going, there is an additional market for you. Nobody's putting a gun to their head saying you must not go to the APMC. It's choice. Isn't that, I can turn on your channel, I can turn on some other channel. Why? If you're saying, oh, you must watch Times Now, or you must watch Mirror Now, I'm afraid that's no law can be that regressive.
Okay, so here is my follow-up question to you. The fear of the other side, as they claim, is that the minute you open up or permit people to buy and sell outside, nobody is going to come to these APMC markets or these mandis to buy, perhaps except the government, who at the last minute will have to come and rescue some farmers. Why should anybody come to a highly regulated, taxed mandi when outside you can get the price you want to buy it for?
So the farmer should love this. They can go and sell. Don't sell to the APMC. I mean, you can't have it every other way. You want freedom for the farmer, right? You want the farmer to be able, the farmer can now sell at his or her doorstep. E-commerce, what you do, what everybody else does. The farmer can now do this. And if the farmer wants to trudge along to the APMC and pay the taxes, etc., he or she is free to do so. How can something that increases freedom of choice be objected to?
Mr. Bhalla, why do you think that there is only a certain geographical representation in this farm protest? Is it because of the way agricultural marketing is done in Punjab?
I missed the first part.
Why do you think that a higher percentage of farmers from Punjab are protesting today than any other state? We don't have protests right now in southern India, for example.
Look, you mentioned in the beginning, I had estimated that some 200,000 farmers are protesting. There are 100 million farmers in India. And clearly, they are not protesting. So therefore, and of this 200,000, there is a minuscule fraction who want to get their foot massaged while they are protesting. So be it. We are the democracy. They should be allowed to have foot massages while they are protesting, because you get tired protesting. So fine. I don't know what the question is. One other point I do want to make, okay? And you are in Delhi, and Delhi in North India faces a lot of pollution problems by stubble burning. Now, the Punjab government, this is from the Punjab government's report, COVID-19, spends, the large farmers in Punjab get a 1 lakh water subsidy a year from the Punjab government.
Right.
So why can't they buy these feeder machines called Happy Seeder?
No, of course, that's something that we've repeatedly questioned the Punjab government on. We also know that the central government said, okay, if you want, we are open to even having a conversation on the stubble burning law and what we can do for you there. But at the end of it, we are still in a standoff and a deadlock with neither of the sides willing to budge. We'll have to wait and watch where that goes. I'm completely out of time. I wish I had more time. Thank you so much, Mr. Surjit Bhalla, for joining us tonight and giving us your time. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Urban Debate. Have a good night.